Good afternoon, students. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so today we will have practicals. Actually, today college internet is not working, so I will use my camera of mobile to show you the execution of the programs. Okay, so just tell me whether the screen is visible to you.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Excellent blur.
You are getting blur.
Yes, ma'am.
What about others?
Yes, ma'am. A little bit blur, ma'am.
Okay, so I believe when the camera is moving, actually at that time you may be getting blur image. Now it is okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Is it okay?
No,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Quality low.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Now okay.
Okay. So today we are going to see the implementation of Brazenham circle generation algorithm. In earlier practical, we have seen Brazenham's line drawing algorithm. So in Brazenham circle generation algorithm, what we exactly do is we are initializing basically the center, that is center of the circle we are considering as origin, right? So if you remember, origin is acting as a center of the circle, and we are starting with a point which is there on the y-axis. So x value is 0 and y value equal to r. So from that point we are drawing our circle, and circle is continued till y becomes x. So till the condition y equal to x, we are continuing drawing of the circle, and then 8-time reflection of that particular piece. So 8-time reflection of that particular piece. So first reflection is taken with y equal to x-axis, so that you will get a quarter circle. Then with respect to x-axis, the reflection is taken so that you will get half circle, and then with respect to y-axis, you are going to take the reflection to get the complete circle. So this is the basic idea behind circle generation algorithm, that you have to start with a point on the y-axis, origin as a center of the circle. So y value is equal to radius and x value equal to 0, which is on the y-axis itself. And you are going to draw a circle till y equal to x line. So 45-degree circle we are going to get, right? So here we are using the plot point function, in which we are taking the 4 variables XC, YC. So they are nothing but the center points, because in our algorithm, we are considering origin as a center of the circle, but always it is not true. You can start drawing the circle at any point on the screen, right? You can draw the circle at any particular point on the screen. And for that purpose, XC and YC will act as new center, which is not the origin. It can be anywhere on the screen. So XC and YC, they are the center of circle, but not origin. And X and Y are the points where XY belongs to actual value of, that is the algorithm value, X is 0 and Y equal to R with respect to the origin. So these are X and Y values. So here we are going to get XC, YC, which are the actual circle coordinates, and XY with respect to origin as the center of the circle. So as usual, the main function is having the integer GD detect GM, that is detecting the graphics driver and graphics mode. Then you are having the integer values XC, YC, R. So XC and YC are the center of the circle. Then center coordinates. R is the radius. P is actually the, in our case, we are using D, right? So initially D, we are setting to 3 minus 2R. So it is a constant value. You can have any value. So here I have taken 5 by 4 minus R. You can take 3 minus 2R also. Then it is going to give you the same output. Then depending upon that value, we will be drawing the circle. So first, XC, YC are the center coordinates. R is the radius. P is the factor on which either you have to move horizontally or diagonally downwards. If you remember, we are going to search the next pixel on the circle, which is either we have to move horizontally towards right, or we are going to move in the slanting direction downwards. So either two cases will happen. X will change to X plus 1 definitely in both the cases. And either Y gets decremented or Y remains same. So depending upon the value of P, we will take the decision whether Y will reduce or Y will be same. Okay, so that is about the decision parameter P. X and Y are the values for the algorithm with respect to the origin as a center of the circle. So first, we are going to print the statement that enter the radius X and Y center values. So you have to accept it from user side by using scanf. So printf statement for accepting the radius value X center and Y center. Then scanf is used. I'm accepting the values in R, XC and YC respectively. Then init graph as usual for initializing the graphics output window. Then according to algorithm. Now at this particular point, algorithm starts. So what is the first point? First point is X becomes 0 because we are starting with Y-axis. We start drawing the circle from Y-axis and we go on drawing till Y equal to X-axis. So X is equal to 0 and Y equal to R. So with this value, we will be starting the drawing of circle. So this is your step number 1 in the algorithm. X is equal to 0, Y equal to R. And then I am calling the function plot point. Plot point with XC, YC, X and Y. So what it will do, then I will plot, when I will plot this particular point, XC, YC, X and Y, this is with respect to your new center coordinates, whether where X and Y are the parameters from the algorithm itself, and XC, YC are the actual center parameters. So by considering these 4 things, you are going to draw the circle on the output screen. Okay, so plot point is actually plotting a point with XC, YC, X and Y. Next is how it works that we are going to learn. Then P equal to 5 by 4 minus R. So you can use here 3 minus 2R also. It will give you the same thing. It is one and the same. 3 minus 2R. So just by dividing the things, 3 minus 2R means I am dividing both the sides by 2. And I will be getting the results like 5 by 4 minus R or in the same manner. So 3 minus 2R or 5 by 4 minus R, you can have the values. Then while X is less than Y, so it is the algorithm step. So till the X value is less than Y, we have to do the following things. So here X is less than Y means we have to continue till Y equal to X axis. And that's why this condition is there. X is less than Y. You have to do the following things. And what are the things you have to do? Okay. So here we have considered while loop. X value is less than Y. Current X value is 0 and Y value is R. So current X is 0 and Y is R. So this condition is true till Y becomes equal to X. So we are going to get only 45-degree circle. So the arc with 45 angle. Then here the if loop is there. If P is less than 0. So here P is the decision variable. So depending upon the value of P, you are going to do the certain things. So if P is less than 0, then there is no change in the Y parameter. Simply X is going to increase. So it is horizontal move. It is horizontal move where X is only increasing. X is only increasing, but there is no change in the Y parameter. So if P is less than 0, then increment X. And as X is incrementing, your P is also changing. And that P value we have already derived when X is incremented. P becomes P plus 2X plus 1. So this value we have derived while learning this circle generation algorithm. So X is increased and P has been changed to P plus 2X plus 1. In the else part, if P value is not less than 0, if P is greater than or equal to 0, then you have to change both the values X and Y. So X will be incrementing and Y will be decrementing. So X equal to X plus 1 and Y equal to Y minus 1. And again, P will be changing as X and Y both are changing. Now P's change is also with respect to X and Y. And that P is P plus 2 into X minus Y plus 1. So we have derived these things while learning the circle generation algorithm. So in the else part, we are having this P equal to P plus 2X into 2X minus 2Y plus 1. After that, you have to plot a point because you have got new X and new Y. Either X will be changing or both XY will be changing. So as X and Y are changing, you have to plot that point. So again, I will be calling the plot point function with XC, YC, X and Y. And then this loop is continued till you reach 45-degree arc. That is Y equal to X axis. Okay. So again, get CH is there and return 0. So that is the program. Now what plot point function is doing? So already we have seen what plot point is doing. There we have taken the values in the 8 different combinations. X and Y both plus plus, then minus plus combination, plus minus combination, and minus minus combination. So first 4 combinations you can observe, that is x and y values in the same order. So xc plus x, yc plus y. So plus plus combination. Then next is minus plus. In the third line you are having plus minus, and in the fourth line you are having minus minus combination. Then further 4 put pixel commands are there, which are interchanging the x and y values. So here x and y values are interchanged, and I will be having here y and x, and again 4 combination of them, plus plus, minus plus, plus minus, and minus minus. So these are the 8 points you are going to get with a single call of plot point function. So these are the 8 pixels we are going to plot on the screen. Okay. So here 8 points with 1 coordinate only we are going to get. And this is your program as a whole. Okay. So all of you have got this, the steps, whatever I have carried out. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Girls side. Is there any difficulty, girls?
No, ma'am.
Okay, right. So let us execute this program. One second. Okay, so here you are able to view the message that enter the radius, x center and y center values. So I will be entering the radius is equal to 30. Then x center, let us say 100, and y center also 100. So I have entered 3 values, 30, 100, 100. So if you observe here, 4 dots, you can check. Actually, okay. Is it visible now? 4 dots. Purposefully, I have used different colors. Okay. Is it visible? 4 dots.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
So this
ma'am.
is the first condition. Yes, yes. Okay. So this is the first condition where x is 0 and y equal to r. X is 0 and y equal to r. So what will happen? It will give you first point on the y-axis, that is x is equal to 0, y equal to r. Then when you are going to replace y by x and x by y, then you will get a point on x-axis. And when you will do minus minus operation, then you will get minus y-axis and minus x-axis. So only 4 points you will get at the beginning. Okay. Now I will press further enter keys because get ch function I have used. So for every plot of the put pixel, I will be making use of put pixel. So you can now see 2 points which are dark in nature. So a slight line you can see now. So line like structure. Next, it is increasing. So you can observe. So as I have used here get ch function, you are going to get the enter key. Okay. So this is giving you the whole circle. Okay, so if you have observed, the circle is getting generated on the both sides of the point due to plus minus effect. So 8 different combinations we have seen. So due to those 8 different combinations, we are able to view the increase in the circle in the both directions, right? So here total circle you are going to get with the help of Brazenham's circle generation algorithm. Okay. So that was the program for Brazenham's circle generation algorithm. So today I will be sending you all the previous programs as well: DDA line drawing, Brazenham line drawing, and Brazenham's circle generation algorithm. After this practical, you will get the code for these 3. Then you can execute that code on your machine and tell me whether you are able to get the output or not. Okay. So that was about Brazenham's circle generation algorithm. Okay. And now, whether the whiteboard is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next task we will be having, that is, we are going to learn 2D transformations today, the practical for 2D transformation. And in the next turn, we will see the polygon filling algorithm with scanline. So today we will start with the 2D transformation because the things are clear, new in your mind. So it will be easier for me also to start with this. Okay. So here different 5 transformations we have already learned, right? We have learned 5 different transformation: 2D translation, then 2D rotation, 2D reflection, then scaling and shearing. So these are the 5 transformation. So here I have gone for a switch case program in which all the 5 transformations I have covered depending upon your choice. So 5 choices are given, first for translation and like that. So a switch case program I have completed. So for that, you should know the basic operations in case of 2D transformation. So first, let us consider the 2D translation. So what happens in the 2D translation? Okay. So 2D translation, it is just shifting of object to the other location. So only X and Y coordinates are changing with amount Tx and Ty, right? The translation along X and translation along Y. So first thing is you should know the original object. So here I have taken a rectangle for all the cases. Here I have considered the rectangle. So for drawing a rectangle, there is a inbuilt function available for us. So it is a rectangle function. So for that, first of all, the menu will get displayed. First is translation, second is rotation, and so on. So rotation, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay. So that will be your menu. After that, the choice will be asked from your side. So enter the choice, which operation you want to carry out. So that will be the choice. If you enter 1, then it will go in the translation switch case operation, translation switch case box. And that for that, it will ask the rectangle coordinates. So rectangle coordinates, in case of a inbuilt function, you are having a rectangle function. You are having a rectangle function. And in that rectangle, you will be giving 4 coordinates. You will be giving 4 coordinates. And what are those 4 coordinates? First is the left bottom coordinate. Left bottom. So consider this is your rectangle. So which point is considered as left bottom? So this particular point, which is the corner point or this vertex, is called as your left bottom point. So left bottom, consider 10, 10 is your left bottom point. So these distances are with respect to your origin. So this is your origin. So this distance is 10, this distance is 10. So lower left coordinate 10 is your x value, 10 is your y value. So this is rectangle with lower left coordinate 10, 10. And what is these 2 coordinates? Upper right coordinate. So this second point is called as upper right coordinate. So consider this is 80 and let us say this is 60. So I will have 80 and 60. So when I will pass the coordinates as 10, 10 and 80, 60, then I will get this type of rectangle on my screen. So this is the rectangle I will get on the screen displayed. After that, so this is your original object, isn't it? This is your original object. Now, according to translation, what extra things you need? If I want to carry out the translation, what I need? Yes.
Original points.
Original points are there, that is 10, 10 and 80, 80, 80 and 60. So these are the original points. That is the original rectangle object you have drawn on the screen. Now next is you have to shift that object to a new location. So shifting of the object requires the translation along x-axis, that is tx, and translation along y-axis, that is ty. So tx, suppose I will give tx as 50 and ty as also 50. So what will happen? I have to shift this rectangle 50 units right and 50 units up, suppose. So 50 units right, that is 10 plus 50, somewhere over here, it is 60. This is also 10 plus 50, that is 60 on this line. So you will get shifting of this rectangle. This point will transform to this particular point with coordinate 60, 60. And then the further rectangle you will observe like this, which is not included in my screen now. Okay, so that is about the translating the rectangle to its new location. Okay, so you need tx is equal to tx and ty coordinates, and your job is just add 50 into these 4 parameters, 10, 10 and 80, 60. So when I add 50 into all these 4 parameters, then I will get new parameters of the rectangle. So again, I will write rectangle function with the changed parameters, and I will get that displayed on the screen. Getting this? Okay, so let us see now the working of it. Okay. So it is a program. This is the program in which the header files are included, and then integer parameters are considered. And then I am having here the menu to display. So menu to display, that is the 2D transformation in my program. And I am having total 5 transformations with me. First is translation, second is rotation, third is scaling, fourth is reflection, and fifth is shearing. So enter the choice. So depending upon the choice, CH value, switch case is called. So in switch case 1 we have studied just now. So what is that case 1 of translation? So enter the value of rectangle. So here I have considered the rectangle object, and the 4 parameters I have taken, that is lower left coordinate x1, y1 and upper right coordinate x2, y2. So I have taken x1, y1 and x2, y2 from user side. Then to carry out the translation, I require tx and ty. And that tx and ty are the translation factor along x-axis and translation factor along y-axis. Then I have done clear device to get the screen clear. And I have printed the rectangle before and after transformation. So what happens in the before transformation? The original coordinates x1, y1 and x2, y2. With that, you will get a initial rectangle. And after that, the rectangle after translation is simply adding here the tx value in x1, ty value in y1, similarly tx in x2 and ty in y2. So simply addition of these tx, ty in appropriate x and y coordinates respectively, you are going to get the final output. Okay, so case 1, all of you have understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, voice side, all of you have understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let us see the output for first translation. Okay, so you can see now the menu on the output screen, 2D transformations, first translation, second rotation, and so on. Enter the choice. So now I will be entering 1. And when I press enter, it will ask me for the values of the rectangle. So the same values shall we take? That is 10, 10, and what was that? 80 and 60. Okay, 80 and 60. Okay, so this is the original values we have taken 10, 10, 80, 60, and enter the value of tx and ty. So tx and ty we have considered 50, 50. Okay, so see here, the first rectangle before translation. So rectangle before translation is this. As always remember the upper left corner. This particular corner is acting as your origin. So all the measurements are with respect to the upper left corner on the screen. So this is rectangle before translation. And again, I will press enter because I have used getch function. So when I press enter, you are getting the second rectangle, which is after translation. That is after moving the object to a new location. So whether we are getting the same output, because one edge was overlapping in our earlier example also, when I have shown it on whiteboard, that edge is overlapping. So similarly here also the edge is overlapping. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
so that okay. So that is first operation, translation, 2D translation. Okay. So the next operation is we are going to see. So the next operation is rotation. So in rotation also, the rectangle is considered. Or we can have line also. So for that, instead of rectangle, if I will write line only, then it will give me the rotation for line. Okay. Okay. Now, if you remember, what is the T matrix for rotation? Yes. You remember? Do you remember? For rotation, what is the T matrix? Rotation, for rotation, what you require actually? The second choice is rotation. So for rotation, what you require? Here we are going to consider it for line. Let us see. Okay. So for one line, we are going to check how it is rotating. Okay. So okay. So this is considered, this is, yes. Okay, consider this is your line and the rotation is carried out in two ways, either the anti-clockwise rotation or clockwise rotation. Okay. So here let us consider again the two cases I have here considered, whether to carry out the clockwise rotation or anti-clockwise rotation, depending upon the choice. So depending upon the choice, you will be getting the rotation in either clockwise or in anti-clockwise direction. So first choice is considered as clockwise rotation. So in clockwise rotation, consider here this line is having x1, y1 and x2, y2 coordinates. Okay, x1, y1 and x2, y2. So what is the T matrix for rotation? For that, you should know the angle of rotation. Angle of rotation. Let us consider angle of rotation is 45 degrees. I want to rotate this line. Now, choice is taken from the user side, whether you want clockwise rotation or whether you want anti-clockwise rotation. For that purpose, the choice is taken from the user side. For this clockwise rotation, what is the T matrix you are having? Okay, before going to T matrix, the angle in the maths, it is not always considered as the angle with degree, but we have to convert it into radian. So what is the formula to convert the angle from degree to radian? Because it is the requirement of the math.h header file that the angle should be converted into radian. Then only we will consider it with cos and sine functions, because we need here cos and sine function for T matrix. So the angle is converted from degree to radian. For that, what is the formula? So you have to multiply that angle with pi by 180. Right. Yes. So you will get the pi by 180 multiplication and the, with angle, that is 45 into pi by 180. Then you will get it into radians. Okay. So that is the formula we need to use over here. Now, after that, you should know the parameters, that is after rotation. So here x1 y1 and x2 y2 are present in one matrix, and then you are having the T matrix for, so this is your P, if you remember original diagram P, and then when it is multiplied with T, you will get the P dash as the output, right? P dash is equal to P into T, and what that T is, it is the cos of angle minus your sine for clockwise, always remember, and here sine theta and cos theta. Okay. So always remember, this is a rotation for clockwise thing. So this is x1 y1 x2 y2 into the cos theta sin theta minus sin theta and cos theta. So this is T matrix. Now when I have this T matrix, what is the ultimate output I will be getting after multiplication? That only we will consider. So after multiplication, you are going to get the new parameters. I will say x1 dash y1 dash and x2 dash y2 dash, that we are getting here. Okay. So can you tell me now, after multiplication, I will get, after multiplication of these two, I will get x1 cos theta minus y1 sin theta. So x1 cos theta minus y1 sin theta. This is your value of x1 dash. Similarly, y1 dash will be x1 sin theta plus y1 cos theta. So here I will write x1 sin theta plus y1 cos theta. So this is the value of y1 dash. Similarly, for x2 and y2, the same will be there. Simply, instead of x1, you will have x2. So x2 cos theta minus y2 sin theta. And the second thing is x2 sin theta plus y2 cos theta. Okay, so this is the resultant value with respect to your angle theta, x1 y1 and x2 y2. So when I will do this when I will write down these things in the program, I will do some modifications over in the program and I will show you the output. Just wait for 1 minute. Okay. So okay, so let us start with the code. Okay, so already we know the second case is for rotation. So when we enter the case 2, then we will be writing the code for 2D rotation. In that, again, we are considering the new choice, that is clockwise rotation or anti-clockwise rotation. So for that, we are considering first choice for clockwise and second for anti-clockwise. And depending upon that, you are going to get the output. Then once I will receive the choice from the user side, then I will ask for the line coordinates x1, y1 and x2, y2. So here for rotation, we are considering a line x1, y1 and x2, y2. So by using the inbuilt function line, here is a inbuilt line function with x1, y1, x2, y2, we will get the original line. Then after that, I will get the angle of rotation from the user side. So user will enter by how much amount you want to rotate the object. So that is the D1 angle is considered. Here it is taken in the long float because we need to convert it into radian. So for that, it is considered as long float. Okay. So in the switch case, you can see the choice, and case 1 is your clockwise rotation. And case 2 is anti-clockwise rotation. Okay. So in clockwise rotation, first the angle is converted into radian, as I have already told you that cos and sine functions are making use of angle in radians only. So that is converted by multiplying it with 3.14, that is pi by 180. Then after matrix multiplication, I have taken x11, y11, x21 and y21 as my new parameters. That is x1 dash, y1 dash, p dash matrix, where x1, y1 and x2, y2 are your original coordinates, and that are multiplied with cos and sine theta depending upon the T matrix. And then at the end, I will be drawing this line after rotation. And it is always remember we have this x11 because this is angle in radian. So you will get it in the float. So you will get x11, y11, x21 and y21 in float. And that's why I have converted the type of that variable, typecasting, converting the float into integer. So I have taken explicitly here integer parameter of x11, y11, x21, y21 in the line function, because line function supports only integer parameters and get ch function. Okay, so this is the code for clockwise rotation. So let us run the program and see the rotation. So here the main menu, 2D transformation. Here I want to print 2 because the rotation I have to carry out. Now you have to enter a new choice. So new choice means either clockwise or anti-clockwise rotation. So I'll write clockwise. line before rotation, you have to give the parameters. So I will give parameters as 10, 10 and 100, 100. So which line is this? Y equal to x-axis. Yes. Y equal to x. 10, 10 to 100, 100. So this is your y equal to x-axis line. So see whether you are going to get it or not. Yes. So you are getting this line y equal to x. Okay. Now my job is to enter the angle of rotation. So whether our line is rotating properly or not, for that I will take 45-degree angle rotation. So that what will happen? If this axis y equal to x-axis is there, and if it will rotate by 45-degree clockwise, where it will go? Where the output will be, output line will be there. This is already 45-degree line. And when I will rotate it more by 45-degree, it will go on the y-axis. So let us check whether it will lie on the y-axis or not. Yes. So it is the line after rotation. So you can check. It is the vertical line which is lying on the y-axis. Okay. So this is the clockwise rotation of the line by 45 degree. Okay. All of you are getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I will do some modification to get anti-clockwise also, because earlier I have taken a rectangle for rotation. So I will make those changes within 2 minutes and I will share the screen again. Okay. So you can see now the code for the anti-clockwise rotation. So in that only this T matrix is changing. Earlier T matrix was cos and minus sign. If you observe here in the above case, the sign was there for minus here in between. That is cos minus sine and cos was there. Here cos, sine, minus sine and cos is there. And that's why only sign change is there in the clockwise and anti-clockwise movement. So this is the code for the anti-clockwise. Only sign is changing. Only this T matrix is changing with sign. Okay, so here only I have considered the minus sign and remaining all are plus. Let us see now the execution. Okay, so this is 2D transformation, second choice for rotation. In that again, second choice for anti-clockwise rotation. The line before rotation and the same line we will consider with same parameters, so that you will consider consider how it rotates in anti-clockwise fashion. So it is the original line. And then I want it to rotate with 45 degree in anti-clockwise. So where it will lie?
X-axis.
Right. So it will definitely lie on x-axis. So see, it is present on the top, which is lying on the x-axis itself. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that is about 2D rotation in clockwise and in anti-clockwise manner. Now next is scaling.
मॅम एकदा
So-
अँटी क्लॉकवाईज आणि क्लॉकवाईज साठी टी मॅट्रिक्स सांगली परत.
Okay, right. I will show it on the whiteboard. You can check. Okay. So आपण काय केलं पहिल्यांदा जो बघितलं होतं ते clockwise movement होतं. So T matrix for clockwise, I will write like this. So T matrix for clockwise is cos of theta and here minus sin theta, here sin theta, and here cos theta. So this is T matrix for clockwise rotation, and T matrix for anti-clockwise is simply changing these two, interchanging these two. So you will have cos theta minus sin theta, and here sin theta and cos theta. Okay, so this is the anti-clockwise rotation. Okay.
ओके मॅम.
Right. So when we are actually multiplying it with x1, y1 and x2, y2, what is happening? What is happening? This becomes x1 cos theta plus y1 sin theta, right? x1 cos theta plus y1 sin theta. And in the next thing, x1 into minus sin theta. So minus x1 sin theta plus y1 cos theta. And that's why we have taken it in that manner, if you remember. You can see here. Here we have taken minus x1 sin plus y1 cos. So that is the ultimate elements representing the final line. Okay now? Is it okay?
येस मॅम.
Okay. Okay, so the next transformation is scaling. So I will not change the code. It will be rectangle only. So for rectangle, we will observe the scaling nicely instead of line. So we can go for rectangle. Again, to draw the rectangle, we use rectangle inbuilt function by providing the lower left coordinate and upper right coordinate of rectangle. And for scaling, what I require is Sx and Sy coordinate, Sy factors, that is scaling along X and scaling along Y. Then we have seen there are two types of scaling, uniform and non-uniform. So when Sx and Sy are same, then it is called as uniform scaling. And when they are different, then it is called as non-uniform scaling. We can achieve compression as well as expansion by scaling operation. Okay, so let us execute the program. Wait for a minute. Okay, so the choice for rotation, it is case 3, you can see here. So in that case 3, first you have to enter the rectangle coordinates. Then you will be asked for Sx and Sy values, that is scaling factor along X, scaling factor along Y. Then the device is clear and you are going to print the rectangle before scaling. So rectangle before scaling x1, y1, x2, y2, the original coordinates, and rectangle after scaling is simply multiplying every x value by Sx. So it is the scaling factor along x-axis, and multiplying every y with scaling factor along y-axis. So if you do so, you will get the output. So simply you have to take Sx and Sy from user, multiply x coordinate with Sx, y coordinate with Sy. So you will get the output. So original main menu, 3 is the code for scaling. Then enter the value of a rectangle. So rectangle, lower left coordinate 10, 10, and upper right coordinate, let us say 50, 30. Okay. Then enter Sx and Sy values. So consider Sx, I have to get x coordinate, that is the scaling along x by 3 and scaling along y by 2. So this is your original rectangle before scaling 50, 10, 10, 50, 30. And after scaling, so this is the rectangle after scaling. So you can observe the rectangle is scaled 3 times along x-axis. So you can observe here the length of your original, that is length means the total breadth of the rectangle and height of the rectangle. So breadth has become 3 times the original, while the height has become 2 times the original, because we have taken Sx equal to 3 and Sy equal to 2. Getting it? So here we have got the scaling, and it is non-uniform scaling because Sx and Sy are not matching. Getting it? Yes. Is there any difficulty in the scaling? Okay. So I believe there is no difficulty in scaling. The next is reflection. So here only 2 choices I have taken: reflection along x-axis, reflection along y-axis. Okay. So for this, we will start this reflection in the next practical, because for that you should divide your screen into 4 quadrants and then watch the reflection appropriately. So for that, I need to do some modifications. That division of the screen into 4 quadrants, and then x and y, and we will consider then all the 4 options in the next turn. So reflection along x, reflection along y, reflection along y equal to x, and y equal to minus x. So we will consider all the 4 types of reflection in the next lecture, or next practical turn. Okay. So we will stop here. If you have any doubt, get it clear right now about this 2D transformations. Is there any difficulty?
No, ma'am.
Yes.
No, ma'am, no difficulty.
So if you have written your attendance in the chat box, you may leave.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
मॅम कोड सेंड करा ग्रुपवरती.
हा आज मी तिन्ही प्रोग्राम्स तुमचे सेंड करते. फक्त हा नाही करते कारण ह्याच्यामध्ये मॉडिफिकेशन अजून करणार आहे 2D रिफ्लेक्शन साठी. ओके. आधीचे तिन्ही प्रोग्राम DDA लाईन ड्रॉइंग, ब्रेझनहॅम लाईन ड्रॉइंग आणि ब्रेझनहॅम सर्कल ड्रॉइंग हे तिन्ही प्रोग्राम मी आता पाठवते तुम्हाला.
ओके मॅम.
Okay, so it is the job of everyone that you have to run those code on your machine and get step by step understanding of the program. And if you feel anything you are not understanding, let me know. I will clear your doubts. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So if you have written your attendance, you may leave. So all of you have entered the attendance. So I will quit the meeting now.